Hi, everyone. I'm Kat Cole, former president and COO at Focus Brands, a global franchisor of food brands in over 60 countries around the world, and one of the collections of restaurant brands that has the most CPG products in the world. So I am no stranger to evolution of brands, omni-channel, the many ways that a restaurant brand can express itself, as well as the many iterations of brick and mortar and distribution approaches that restaurants have been experimenting with over many years. And I want to talk to you about the future of food and all of the many ways that food companies, food entrepreneurs, food investors can and should be thinking about ways to build food businesses going forward. And while 2020 brought us many challenges, as many have noted, it was simply an accelerating event for trends around digital, access, omni-channel, and more that are now the new way to operate a food business. I'll start first and foremost that if you are a restaurateur, if you are an operator of a brick and mortar food business, there are a few things that the best of those in that industry are thinking about, investing in, and executing on. One is the experience economy. You've got the real estate, you have the concept. For those who will come, and people will come, it needs to be so worth it. And whether that's the service experience, if that is the environmental experience, if that's music, design, what will make something so worth it for someone to visit? The other economy we're living in is the convenience economy. And that will be the area that I'll spend most time in for the other areas and attributes of building food businesses. But for a brick and mortar business, the convenience economy, of course, means speed and access. Speed of line, speed of operations, speed of revenue channels intersecting with each other. So thinking about how do you execute in a brick and mortar business, even if it's a delivery only business, a commercial kitchen operation, when you have people showing up to order unexpectedly, digital orders coming in advance, possibly production of food for shipping orders, and then other types of grab and go or other channels where you have drivers, grocery-like shoppers, convenient shoppers, as well as restaurant diners. So don't only think about the many ways to meet the customer's needs for experience and convenience, but also get really serious about the operating back end of those things all coming together. If you're building a food product first, far more than a brick and mortar concept or an experience, think about distribution. Where do you want that product to live? Outside of amazing founder, wonderful brand, clean ingredients, and all of the fundamentals of a great food business. Think about distribution strategy. Direct to consumer, there are pros and cons. Certainly there's a value in having a direct relationship with your consumer. Next, outside of that, partner strategy. Will you live on a marketplace? One that's specific to your industry vertical, Amazon, a grocery marketplace, or others? Traditional wholesale, retail, and grocery are all still amazing options. And while in the past, some have suggested that there is an ideal or preferred sequence of ways to launch a food business, I think that's changed. And the reality is, wherever you can meet your greatest fans, delight them for the need state they're in that brings them to your food, and then deliver on that in that channel, that is the channel to go to. And then over time, find ways, profitable ways that you can extend to go meet your fans where they are with either the same product or versions and iterations of the product that make sense for other channels, which means possibly different portion sizes, potentially different manufacturing partners or formats, and it could even mean different pricing strategies. Think D2C versus club versus grocery versus your own grab and go shop, and all of the different elements of consideration for pricing, packaging, and promotion for those food products. And then broadly, digital enablement of whatever channel you are building your food business on. That may mean a white label app, and at least you own your data. You have the ability to learn about your customer and their preferences. And now you can do that with so many partners that don't charge you the exorbitant upfront app building fees, and build it into something that looks a little more like a monthly fee or just a regular SaaS partnership without tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars of upfront development investment. And back to data, the more you can tap into the little bit that you learn about your most loving fans, the more you can go then find the next ring out of lookalike consumer. The more often you can partner with those that are already a part of those consumers' lives, delighting them, the better off you will be. Think about partnering with other brands, forming collectives, connecting with others that sell on the same marketplace as you do, asking buyers of grocery stores or restaurateurs in your community to connect you with others that are going down a similar path. It is so much easier to go together, to support each other, to join forces, to tell each other stories than it is to do it alone. All of these things take investment. There are many food investors who might not be in the traditional venture world, because certainly growth and returns for high quality food can look a little different than to traditional technological investments. But there are pockets of ways to access capital that might be right for your food business. Those could be microfunding sites, they could be certain micro funds, private equity firms, family offices, and all of the many iterations of access to capital that are evolving today. I encourage food entrepreneurs to go beyond a traditional capital investment structure and think about how to approach it in a future-oriented way, giving your stakeholders the opportunity to invest, rewarding those who help you promote and sell your business, and making sure you're doing it in a way that allows you to pay your people incredibly well, have the employee value proposition be as strong, if not stronger, than the external customer facing brand proposition, and tying that all together to build a food brand of the future. A few key takeaways for entrepreneurs, founders, and investors that are driving the future of food. One, remember, we are in this hybrid of the experience economy and the convenience economy. And there is evidence that great companies can deliver both access through convenience, speed, distribution, logistics, and digital connections with consumers, but still giving quality of product. The brands that are growing the fastest are those that are evidencing both quality as an experience and radical access to distribution, which may mean a grocery brand first as a distribution strategy for some. It may mean direct to consumer for others. It might be a brand within a store or a store within a store concept for someone else. The second is stay insanely close to your customer. We as consumers and customers have so many options in front of us because of the boom of innovation in food. It makes it crowded, but there are also many examples of creative ways to build, structure, and fund your business. And then third, make sure you are telling your story. People still want to do business with people. They want to hear the founder's story. They want to hear the why behind it, the personal story of the founder, the inspiration behind the product, and then the journey of the company itself are all part of a media, promotions, and storytelling muscle that the greatest brands in any industry have learned to build. It's a strength of those in the food business, but as the world gets noisy, I've noticed it taking a bit of a backseat. Bring that storytelling muscle forward whenever you can. Lift your head up from being heads down building the business. Lift it up and tell your story.